So, assignment 2, stack of cities. That's, you can do, I'm always asking a minimum of 1 proposal, but feel free, jump into more proposals if you are getting hold of it and you're having fun. And as I said before, as you do more options, it's going to become much easier to accomplish these proposals and the whole process. So just feel free. And then I'll do again tracing worlds, and then the last, number 2, chamber works. Okay. So this is the base project. So basically, the world of stacked cities is a simple exercise of tracing on top of an image. So what I'm gonna pretty much ask you to do is to travel around the world. By the way, stop me if you have any questions. You can travel to any place using Google Maps. So you can travel to your hometown. Right now, I'm in Greece. That could be a good example to use. Why not? I see, you can see some places I've been lately here. This could be interesting. You can go to satellite. Okay, maybe closer. You can go to any part in the world that you're interested. You can actually go, this is Athens. You can go to Cairo, you can go to Tokyo, you can go to New York, you can go to stay in Philadelphia, or you can go to the North Pole if you find a little town there that is lost in the woods. Wherever you want, just look at the grid of the city and think, oh, that's an interesting grid, no? There's some kind of a old, more Gothic or Baroque type of organization of the city where it's a perfect grid. I normally like more irregular organizations. And what I'm asking you is to print screen, basically. You can use, you have this snipping tool that you can do a print screen, but you can also use the button that says print screen. No? So I'm just going to print screen this very fast and save it. Okay, so basically what this exercise is to learn how to trace on top of it, on top of any image in Rhino, and then use it as a kind of extrusion element. No? So that's it. You can travel to some other place if you want or whatever. I'm just going to close that. Now the question would be, how do we take it into Rhino so we can trace on top of it? So several ways, but let's go to one of them. Most probably on the top view, it's a nice place to go to place an image. No. You can actually work with C-planes, or you can work with a set view, display. It's actually different ways to go about it. Let me see if I can find this. Okay, I'm going to do it the other way, and then I will jump to the previous. Here's add a picture plane. It's actually quite a good one. This is under the 4 viewports. It's an option. I wonder if it's here as well. No, I guess it could be here, but right now I have it under standard. You go to this option, you expand that button, and you basically go to add a picture plane, which the command is picture, I believe. So we can actually type picture. And what it's going to do is pop up a window so you can search for whatever print screen that you have done. No? So I'm going to go now to the course material, and then here's the capture print screen that I have done. No? It's waiting to introduce some commands. It's first corner of picture, click, and notice how I can expand this as I want. Just want to make it a good size to see it properly. And this is like a plane, basically. You can move it around if you want. And this, I can place it in a layer now, and I can lock it, because that would be maybe nice, so I'm not stepping on top of it. I'm going to take it now, select, and take it to layer 5, and then just lock it here. So, you know, I can't select it. And I'm just going to trace on top of it. Okay, I'm going to just use another layer. I'm going to click there to work on the layer 4, and I'm going to start doing polylines and trace on top of this line. You don't have to be so picky. I'm just going to go and be as, you know, as close as I can get to. I'm going to change the color so I can see this better. Okay, that's a polyline. Again, if I press enter, repeats the last command. And I'm tracing pretty much the city. Yeah, I'm not asking you to go obsess about, again, details or exactness, no way. It's more about a sense of a grid, whether it's organic or, you know, diagonal, or it's more grid configuration, or orthogonal. Just pressing enter every time I finish a polyline. Remember, if I press enter, it just repeats the last command. I can even just say whatever. I'm not going to do the whole thing. It's too much, and I do some of them bigger. I do like this little component here. So imagine that is, you know, we're doing it with the city print screen, but you can do it with anything. If you want to print anything per se, the same way you will do it in AutoCAD, you can do it in Rhino, just like a print screen. Imagine you go to an office and they tell you, well, we have this old project, or somebody scanned these drawings. We need to actually place them into Rhino to create a 3D model of this. Well, you will just get the image in the interface as I did, and then you will trace it, and then you work in 3D. You know, you start extruding, you start doing these things. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna join those. They have to be close polyline. Okay, so let's say I'm done. I'm gonna turn off layer 5, and this is what I did, no? Each of those are close polylines. That's actually important. And we can do several things. We can do simple operations. I'm gonna do several projects just with this. I'm gonna place it here, scale, pressing shift to scale uniformly. I'm gonna go to this perspective so you can see what's going on here. Take it down a notch and extrude. Okay. I'm gonna do a Boolean difference, enter. Okay. Okay. Proposal number, or proposal number 4, or proposal D, I'm done. Huh? Make today, make today, make today, make today. You take it to the world of Illustrator, fixed line width. Now, if you can spend a bit more time thinking, well, is this one as interesting as I would like it to be? Well, there are other ways you can go about it. For example, the Boolean intersection. Is this more interesting? Is it more like avenues and blocks? Okay, I'm gonna try other options. Control C, and I'm gonna now take some of those. I'm gonna move them, select by pressing shift and take them down. Other ones are gonna go instead up. Other ones are gonna disappear altogether. This one's gonna go down less, and this one's gonna go up. This one's gonna go up as well. Okay.
Are we allowed to like move them outside of that form?
Out of the base project?
Yes.
Never. As in no.
So like when you move them down or up, like we can do that, or we can't?
Notice what I'm doing. When I'm moving these objects up and down, for whatever reason, I'm just imagining, you know, what is going to be left there. So I'm almost like thinking I'm almost like thinking what the carving solution out of this will be. So I'm just trying to be more playful about it. But all of the projects, as I mentioned last class, have to be within the container of the base project.
Right.
I'm just moving things around to be more playful.
Okay.
Boolean intersection. So this could be another option. But even further, I could actually select some of these guys and press Alt, rotation to copy orthogonal. And I can do a mixed of these guys. I can even scale those and stretch them in this direction. For example. Okay, now I can do something like a Boolean intersection of all of these or difference, and let's see how it looks. Pressing enter after the project base and then all of these volumes. And it will give me potentially interesting intersections of spaces where you have these kind of a voids in one direction, but also voids vertically. And Control C, Boolean. I don't know what I did before, intersection. Let's see, that one is the same. This is the negative of that. So that could be another project. Every time I finish a Boolean, it's like, okay, why not? That could be something to look at and take further. Or maybe they're all too complex. All of the previous projects you have are way too sophisticated and you want to keep it more simple, but maybe you want to do only like actually the ones that are horizontal to keep like a tunnel system horizontally because you already have some vertical tunnels. And then you do a Boolean difference here. So it could be something like a process like this. You can also stack them, as I mentioned, so you can move this one to the side and stack them horizontally or vertically. I can do copy, pressing Alt and dragging the arrow, and then rotating, and then moving in somehow. Boolean difference. There could be an interesting, like this doesn't go all the way, sometimes it does, and then it has another kind of a meeting point, no? Each of those could be potential projects. So as you know, we get rid of all of the curves, we make sure that it's actually clean and nice. It might have several volumes, but as long as it's inside of the container, which it is, you're good to go. You can perfectly start your business, which will mean to go back to those 3 video tutorials that talks about the process, no? Which is, as you know, first isometric or spiral view, make 2D with elevation, the 3 elevations, including the top view, take it into your template in Illustrator, the one that has guidelines already. Number 2, you place it in perspective, no? You go perspective, and you go to the view that you probably have saved, or you have to bring it here from main views. As you know, import 3D file. We talked about this the other class. You import the views if they're there. Any? There should be. There you go. You import your views. They have to be the exact same view. You go to that view, and that's the perspective. Make 2D. You take it to Illustrator, fixed line weight, take it to InDesign afterwards. There's the rendering that should be behind the protagonist, the drawing that is most important and a little bit bigger than the rest. And there should be color in your sectional perspective. Remember, we're using the clipping plane, that we also take it from one to another using the import command. Make 2D. The Make 2D gives you another layer, which is the section cut, and we can actually fill with color that section cut in a very nice way. You can also introduce renderings there, and you can improve each of the project's set of drawings as much as you want, but the minimum setting, let's say, it's actually defined by the ingredients that I placed here, no? So again, the steps to follow from here, because I'm not going to repeat it that many other times, they're already in video tutorials. No? So that would be the stacked cities. I'm going to stop recording this.